Welcome back to Musical Deep. In our countdown of the top 10 tragic music disasters, we now arrive at number 2, an event that was meant to be a West Coast answer to Woodstock, a celebration of peace and free music, but instead spiraled into chaos, violence, and tragedy. This is the story of the Altamont Free Concert, held on December 6, 1969. The late 1960s were the golden years of counterculture. Woodstock had just taken place months earlier, leaving behind images of love, music, and unity. The Rolling Stones, inspired by the spirit of the movement, decided to close out their U.S. tour with a massive free concert in California. On paper, it sounded like the perfect finale. Thousands of fans, legendary bands, and a cultural statement that music was still the heartbeat of the people. But almost everything went wrong from the start. The concert's location changed multiple times in the days leading up to the show, ending up at the Altamont Speedway, a venue that wasn't prepared for the sheer size of the crowd, over 300,000 people. There weren't enough bathrooms, medical services, or organization to handle the influx of fans. But the most fateful decision of all was hiring the Hells Angels motorcycle gang as security, paying them with $500 worth of beer. As the music began, the atmosphere quickly turned tense. The crowd was restless. The Hells Angels were aggressive, and fights kept breaking out near the stage. Jefferson Airplane, one of the performers, had their lead singer punched in the face mid-performance. The Grateful Dead, originally scheduled to perform, saw the violence and refused to go on. When the Rolling Stones finally took the stage after dark, the chaos reached its breaking point. During Under My Thumb, a young black man named Meredith Hunter tried to get closer to the stage. Accounts vary, but it's agreed that he pulled out a revolver after being attacked. A Hells Angel then stabbed him multiple times, killing him in front of the crowd. The incident was captured on film in the documentary Ye May Sheltered Forever, linking the Rolling Stones' performance with tragedy. The cultural shockwaves were immediate. Woodstock had been the peak of the peace and love era, but Altamont became its grim bookend. Critics declared it the death of the 1960s counterculture dream. The idea that music festivals could be safe havens for unity was shattered, replaced by fear and skepticism. For the Rolling Stones, Altamont became a stain on their legacy. Though they didn't cause the violence, their decision to allow the Hells Angels as security and their inability to control the situation tied them forever to the chaos. The music world, too, had to reckon with the dangers of massive, unregulated gatherings. Altamont wasn't just a concert gone wrong. It was a tragedy that revealed the cracks in a movement built on idealism. It showed that even in the world of music, where unity and love were the slogans, darker forces, violence, racism, anger could surface. And in that sense, Altamont didn't just mark the end of a concert. It marked the symbolic end of the 1960s. The legacy of Altamont lives on as both a cautionary tale and a cultural marker. It changed how festivals were planned, how security was handled, and how artists and fans alike thought about safety. It reminded the world that music could inspire love and freedom, but it could also ignite chaos if left unchecked. As we close this chapter, we remember Meredith Hunter, a young man who went to a concert for music and never came home. His death is a reminder of how thin the line can be between joy and tragedy when the world is out of balance. Stay with us as we continue this journey through the top 10 tragic music disasters. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Musical Deepfakes as we uncover the stories where music met heartbreak and how those moments changed the world forever.